Basically a poem that's and it goes. It's to remember the veterans, and I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, tell us.
It's they shall grow not old as we who are left grow old.
They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old.
Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn.
Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn.
At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.
At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.
And that's what it comes into a lot of the Legion meetings and that. You know, it's said at the meetings. It's part of the ritual.
Right. And so we're here today at the Legion, and what number of people do you guesstimate would be members who had served in the Second World War, First World War, Korean War?
I don't have an exact number, but we have our membership list, and I believe our membership is close to 500 now, but it's in different classes. Like if you have served, you're an ordinary member, and then it goes down to associate members, which could be members of the family of veterans.
Oh, I see. Okay, so there's a community here that includes family members.
Yes.
You know, we talked briefly about the fact that you are part of the reserves, and can you tell us a little bit about why that's a significant and really important role?
Well, it's what the reserves are is a secondary force. Like when I joined, it was years ago where you really didn't get shipped out or anything like that, and it was, in a way, it was a bit of a hobby. So we put more into it, and we learned all the skills that you needed. Mm-hmm. And somebody asked me one time, "Oh, why are you in the reserves?" And we, you know, if something happens, we're prepared. You know, and that was it. But the training later on, like nowadays, the training is more intense, and they call on the reserves to actually go overseas. And the way it works is they don't tell you, you have to apply for it. Okay, so if you want to go like the reservists that went to Afghanistan, they were selected and they applied for that position, and they supplement the regular force regiments and battalions.
How do they do that? Are they on the field of battle, or how are they?
Yeah, they go into the training. They do so much training, and then when they go overseas, they're slotted in with a regular force battalion or regiment, like the PPCLI or the RCRs, you know, and they fit in there.
So, I guess from my own experience, the way I'm perceiving that would be like the journalists used to be embedded during the Iraq War. I remember they would put on their, you know, flak jackets and helmets and go into tanks and things like that. So is that the same concept?
It would be not really the same, but they go in there, like if you have a regular force platoon or so, they will be slotted into that platoon and they become part of that family. Okay, and that unit, and they go out and they fight as a unit, you know.
So they are fighting.
They are, depending on what their unit is.
Sure, of course. Yeah, okay. Well, that's very interesting. So how many reservists do we have here in New Westminster?
I don't know the exact amount. but it's a couple of hundred.
Yeah, is it growing or diminishing?
But
or-
they have limits.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Okay.
they could, as far as I know, they were recruiting, and they had a recruiting limit, but I understand that, I think the budget came out and they wanna get 400,000 more, 400,000 more reservists, from across the country.
Wow, and so what would that mean then that they would like to see of actual, not reservists, what's the word? People who apply to be in the Army or the Navy or the Air Force. How many more do you think Canada be looking for today?
I think they're looking for quite a few more. It's just a matter of getting the people that want to join up.
As someone who's spent 30 years in the reserves and, retired as you said,
Captain.
as captain, when you look around today, what do you think about the general diminishment of Canada's military? Does that bother you?
Does it bother me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It bothers a lot of us, and it's then you have to get into your political views.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the military just basically been dumped on. A lot of the equipment is not up to standard. And this is public knowledge.
Yeah. So I guess as someone who has been for a good majority of his life willing to stand,
Yeah.
for our true north, what would you say to young men today, young women, people of, a warrior mentality? What would you say to them?
If you're interested in learning a trade or anything like that, or the adventure, by all means, join the reserves. You'll get a taste of it, and then because a lot of the reservists do join, and then they transfer over to the regular force.
Okay.
So it's basically, it's a recruiting process, and it actually goes lower than that because you get the Army, Navy, and Air Force cadets, and it's almost like recruitment where they get a feel of what's going on, and then they will go to the either reserves, or then from there they go to the regular force.
Right, so that, I'm always impressed. I don't often see cadets, but I do see them, most often during the Hayak Parade here in New Westminster. They come out in force, and, obviously also on Remembrance Day, because there's a short parade following the special ceremony at the Cenotaph at City Hall in New Westminster. And, it's, they strike me as a unique kind of person. At a young age, they've made a commitment. Do you know any of those young people, and do you know what their mindset is today? And have you got yourself any interaction with them?
Well, when I was retiring, I was a commanding officer of a cadet corps, so I had the cadets there. And what it is they were there for the discipline and learning the awareness of the community. And what we found was if they weren't interested in the discipline, they didn't stick around. So most of them, they're there for the discipline, and it gives them a sense of pride when they put the uniform on.
When you say the discipline, what do you really mean? I mean, for people who don't have any experience of it.
How to obey orders, and
Right.
and basically behave like young citizens.
Right,
Yeah.
and so there's the concept, I guess, of chain of command and
Yes.
understanding that you must obey in
Yes.
a military circumstance. Someone's got to be leading, and someone's got to be following and executing the orders.
Mhm.
So they begin to learn that, and
Yes.
And for many, I guess, it's something that they rather enjoy and they can participate in willingly and want to be there for. And then that, I guess, as they
Yeah.
mature, that leads into other opportunities, like you were saying, you can gain skills and education.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
what does that amount to for a young person? Is it a 4-year degree?
It all depends on what they're going in for. If, like I had a neighbor years ago, he joined the regular force and he did the schooling, he became a dentist, but he had to give 4 years after that as payback because
Wow.
the military paid all the costs and all that. You know. But he became a dentist and then he did his 4 years and then he got out. You know, and that's the way it works. Like even with the NCMs and that, the non-commissioned members, they'll learn skills like mechanics, driving, and things like that. And what happens now is when they retire, they can actually go to, I think PCIT has it, but they can go and earn the Red Seal on the civvy side because they're training in the Army. It's not Red Seal, but they just qualify when they get out. They can get jobs once they get the Red Seal.
Wow, so it's a good, sounds like a great opportunity on a lot of different levels.
Mhm.
I think I heard you mention the word citizens. Do they become better citizens, do you think, as a result of their investment of time?
Usually what we found is that if you went and applied for a job and you were in the reserves, you'd get a job. You know, it would count on your resume that you had reserve service.
Right,
Yeah.
that's great.
Because you've been regimented.
I get it. Well, you know, one thing we haven't chatted about is the fact that you were able to visit the mayor's office recently. Tell me what happened when you were there.
Well, this is with the Royal Canadian Legion. They have a procedure when the poppy campaign starts. A few days before it starts, the Governor General is presented with the first poppy. And once that date is done, then it goes to the lieutenant governors get presented with their poppies. And once the lieutenant governor gets the first poppy, then the municipalities and cities, it's supposed to, the Legion presents the poppies to the mayors. Okay, and a lot of the communities don't get that, you know. But here in Westminster, I think we did it, probably 10 years ago. It wasn't done before that, you know, but we've done it ever since then. So.
Yes, and I was there. I managed to get a photograph of yourself and the mayor, and who was accompanying you that day?
That was Bev Connolly. She's the president of the branch.
And which branch are you referring?
Branch number 2 in New Westminster.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. So I met Bev as well, and that was a very happy occasion. And the mayor was very pleased to receive the poppy, I noted. So that was quite nice.
Yeah.
So today we're here at the Legion and looking ahead to November 11th. And I'm just wondering, what would you say to people who are maybe not convinced they should attend this ceremony at the Cenotaph? What would you say to them?
I would say to them, come out and show your respect to the people that have given up their lives for the freedoms that we have right now in this country. You know, it's all due to them. This city here, a lot of the city was basically built up by veterans, you know, from the First World War right through to the Second World War. They were doctors, lawyers, businessmen, realtors. They came from all walks of life and they helped build the city. Like the Royal Westminster Regiment is actually a county regiment, and it's originally, years ago in the First World War, the people that joined were all farmers and loggers and fishermen, you know.
So in honor of their commitment, there's service, there's sacrifice, some of them the ultimate sacrifice, to just remember. What do you think the act of remembering does for those today who take the time to remember?
Yeah, I think it gives them a sense of calmness, really, in a way that we're remembering people that should be remembered.
Right.
You know, the Legion itself, we look after the veterans, and there's not that many veterans around, although if you see a soldier on the street, he's a veteran, because the definition of a veteran is any individual that has served with the Canadian Armed Forces, regular or reserve, or the RCMP are veterans, and those that are still serving are considered veterans.
Wow, that's interesting. So you know the image, the statue at City Hall of the unknown soldier. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I don't know too much about the one here in New Westminster. It has the names of the people from this community on them, so they're listed, and each community does that. The ones that have their own cenotaphs and that, they inscribe it with the names of people from that area.
Is there anything else you'd like to mention today to folks who might be listening?
Support the Legion and the Poppy campaign. It's important to us to raise funds for the veterans, and a lot of the veterans that from previous that are suffering from PTSD and all that, our money goes to programs to assist them. Poppy campaign begins on the last Friday of October and continues until Remembrance Day. And we distribute the poppies and wreaths for the Remembrance Day ceremonies. And it raises funds for the veterans. All the poppy money goes for veterans and their families.